Greetings. This is Doc I coming at you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central today with another tale from our long list of tales that we've got here in the Black Facts Archives, the Crosby Archives here in Kent, Ohio. Now, let's see, which one are we going to read today? Yeah, we're going to finish up with the story we started yesterday. And I really don't understand why we didn't finish this story yesterday. Oh, I see why now. It's got a lot more reading than what I realized. Okay, so unfortunately, it seems as though I forgot to mark my place. So we're going to have to start from the beginning and read a little quicker in order to get through the whole book before our time runs out. So let's see if we can do that tonight. So number one, if you're watching us on Facebook, give us a like. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. And no matter what platform you're watching on, please make sure to spread the word far and wide, north and south, east and west, all around about, and let everybody know what they should be doing right about now. Right about now. So now, the story, again, is called Day of Delight, or a Jewish Sabbath in Ethiopia. And so we're going to be reading about some Ethiopian Jews, sometimes known as Falashas. There may be other names they go by as well. That's just the name that comes to my mind. So let's see if we can, and there it is. Oh, okay. And looky here. It looks like that is the last page that I was on. So let's see if we can go right to there. Let's see. There we go. All right. So you know what? I'm not going to read the whole thing over again, but I will start. Well, let's see. So hard. Decisions. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try reading from the beginning. See if I can read through the whole thing. We're going to give it a shot. Real quick right here. Going to give it a lick one time. And all we got to do here is just do a rewind here. Boom. There we go. And go here. All right. That got us there. And then go. Boom. All right. Here we go. Day of Delight. A Jewish Sabbath in Ethiopia. It starts off with a prayer. Do not separate me, O Lord, from the chosen, from the joy, from the light and the splendor. Do not separate me. Well before the woodcock calls, when morning still looks like night, my mother rises, moving silently over the earth floor. She lifts the bamboo pipe from the wall and kneels with it over the hearth. Again and again she blows through the pipe, again and again, until at last her breath rekindles yesterday's embers. As the fire grows, my mother mixes tev, flour, with water and pours it on the iron griddle. Now our injera, our bread pancakes, are sizzling. We throw off our sheepskin covers and dress in our long shamas. Father pours water from the gourd onto our outstretched hands. Around the mesab, our table made of woven reeds, we eat our pancakes, washing them down with strong coffee. Suddenly, we hear it. The clang, clang, clang of the iron gong, the boom, boom, boom of the big drums. My little brother Simcha runs to the door to watch. The elders are moving through the village, reminding us that Sabbath, the day of delight, begins at sundown. Father rises, pours sesame oil into the lantern, and gathers his blacksmithing tools. Come, Menelik, he says to me, We have much work, and because of the Sabbath, only half a day to do it. My mother hands me a bag of roasted chickpeas for our lunch. When I follow my father out of the hut, Simcha begs to come along. Our work is not for little ones, father tells him gently. Simcha cries, knowing he must stay home to study letters, gather kindling, and shoo stray chickens out the door. In front of his hut, not far from our town, Uncle Baruch is fanning the fire with the goat skin bellows. Today we will make sickles for cutting down the tev. Sickles to sell so we can buy meat, coffee, and salt. My father fits a piece of scrap iron into the tongs and plunges it into the fire. Just before it melts, when it is sun-colored, he pulls it out and rests it on the anvil. With one hand he holds the tongs, and with the other he taps his hammer on the hot iron, showing the exact spot where Uncle Baruch must let fall the heavy sledge. Clang! Tap, tap, clang! Our metal music rings through our mountain village. Clang! And echoes across the dark valleys. Clang! The charcoal fire reaches higher. Clang! With the long metal poker, I push the coals. Clang! Together until they are piled up like a little hill. Clang! It is my job to keep the flames big. Clang! And though my eyes are filled with smoke, clang! I am happy. Clang! For my father promised me, clang, that later he would let me take the iron from the fire. Clang! All by myself. Clang, 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 clang. By the time the morning sun lights the mountaintops, the rest of the villagers are working. As I tend the fire, I see my mother in front of our hut, sitting with the other potter women. Her hands fly like two brown swallows. First she pulls and pinches the red clay until it is soft and pliant. Then she rolls out the long skinny snakes that she coils around and around and around to shape a tall jug. Later she would decorate it with juniper leaves, pigeon feathers, and glass beads. Today she has much to do besides making jugs. She must sweep the hut with a horsehair broom, prepare what? Our peppery chicken stew, and bake dabo, our white Sabbath bread. Simcha kneels in the dirt beside her, scratching alphabet letters with a sycamore twig. Outside his hut, old Uri sits in a hole weaving. His great hide loom is attached to his big toes by strings. His toes are his treadle. As he moves them up and down, the strings lift the wooden slat that makes the threads weave together. They bob and weave, weaving together. A few feet away, Uri's wife cleans and spins the raw cotton as he weaves the threads together. They do not speak to each other because he's weaving the threads together. Uri must concentrate as he weaves the threads together. He cannot even shoo flies away because he's busy weaving the threads together. If his cloth starts to pucker, he will have to undo the threads that he was weaving together and start again because he's bobbing and he's weaving, and we know it's hard to be believing, but he's really doing it to the maximum. Old Uri's toes move up and down, hour after hour after hour. In 2 weeks' time, he will have turned the wild mountain cotton into a milky white shama to sell at the market. As I tend the fire, I look toward the hills. I see our men work the soil. They are sharecroppers, farmers who plow the damp, dark land they do not own. I can see Reuben moving slowly, stumbling behind two hen-pecked oxen. His long iron plow opens the earth, ready in it to receive seeds of tev, the grain we use to make our bread. Our people depend on a good crop. Every year we wonder, will the tev grass grow tall and green, bringing enough money at the market to buy meat? Will there be enough rain to start new life within the seeds at all? I'm only 10, but I can remember the year when the sky gave no rain at all. I remember how the gray locusts came covering the fields like a great dirty shama, destroying the crops within hours. Birds are trouble as well. They love to eat the newly planted seeds. But Reuben and the other farmers have planned well. They have built wooden platforms armed with slingshots, defend the precious seeds from hungry birds. At the close edge of these fields, the branches of the sycamore tree dance up and down, up and down. At first I see no one, but then I spot my friends Isaac and Joseph at the top of the tree. Those two are the best climbers I see. Sure-footed as mountain goats, I have no time to watch them now. Yet I know just what they're doing anyhow. They are removing the honey from the beehive baskets. A tisket, a tasket, they got to deal with them hanging baskets as the bees swarm around, angry as what? My friends have a clever trick. They hit the sides of the baskets softly with sticks, making a sound like slow Sabbath drums. The rhythmic beat calms the bees, so Isaac and Joseph can open the baskets and safely remove the honeycomb. From this, the grown-ups will make sweet beer, and as a treat, give us small golden pieces to crunch. Throughout the village, there's a sound like soldiers marching, marching. The grinding women are banging, banging. The big wooden pestles are mashing, mashing into the stone mortars. They're thrashing, thrashing. Every day they crush barley and maize to make flour, and every day as she works, Widow Deborah complains, "Aye," she always cries, "my shoulders are sore, my neck is stiff, my hands hurt, and they're about to give out. I wish I could get a knee replacement, but we don't do that over here. We just keep on moving." On the Sabbath, she would drink bark tea and feel much better, but today she must bang the pestle. Bang, bang with the pestle. Bang, slang, slang with the pestle slang. Girls of the village also work hard. Each day I see them run back and forth, New York, LA, back and forth, to the river for water, collecting cow dung for fuel, and carrying roasted chickpeas to the men in the fields. As I pump the bellows to fan the flame, a girl with a baby on her back drives the cows to the high side grass. At first the cows fly past us like obedient children, but suddenly they stray toward our fire. I grab the iron poker to shoo them back, and the girl throws pebbles at the cows and shouts, "Hid, hid." When the cows are past and I've made the fire again, my father turns to me and says, "Now it is your turn to take the iron from the fire." I say nothing as he speaks. "Menelik, are you afraid?" "No," I answer, though my heart is beating fast. Father hands me the tongs. "Wait for the right moment," he warns. The iron flames red as the sunrise, then white as the moon. Now, no, yellow as the sun. Now, with all my strength, I swing the tongs up from the fire and land the sizzling metal right on the anvil. "Perfect," says my father. I smile, for I can already picture a long, cool curve of iron without holes, bends, or cracks. For many more hours we work in silence. Our arms ache and our eyes water from the smoke. Our shamas darken with the soot that flies up from the burning coals. When the sun sits high in the sky and the air hangs still, we stop. Workday tools are put away. The coal fire is doused. The looms lie silent. The cattle are left to graze. Birds fly freely as slingshots are laid to rest. It's time to prepare for the Sabbath day. Back at our hut, my mother greets us with clean shamas. "I've already bathed," she says. "Now it's your turn." We take the clean clothes down to the river. Simcha runs in front of us, scaring the chickens in the reeds of the riverbank. We take off our soot-stained shamas. My skin is hot and dry, so I jump right in, naked in the cool water. We pass around the green soap my mother made from the wild soapwort berries. "I'm a crocodile, look at me, I'm a crocodile," I shout as I lunge at Simcha's legs. He shrieks with laughter and splashes me all over. While we play, a sunfish swims around our feet. "Look," Father says at last, "the sun is dipping. It's time to leave." Walking back to our hut, I can smell the spicy berbere, pepper, and garlic of our chicken stew Sanbat Salam, mother greets us. Peaceful Sabbath. Father takes her hand in his. Yesterday, she said, the grass roof needs repair. Yesterday, Father told her, we've no money for sandals this year, but the Sabbath is almost here, so they do not speak of workday things. Not today. In these last moments, Simcha and I sit in the breeze near the doorway of our hut as the dusk slowly absorbs the world's colors. No wheel is spun, no water is drawn, no fire is lit, no drum is beaten, no gong is sounded. We can hear our cattle moo in the twilight. We can hear a hyena cry. Oh! In the hills, we can hear the dry thorn bush creak in the wind. Creak. Overhead, the darkening sky reveals the stars. Now all Africa seems at rest. We can even hear the thump, 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 thump of our heartbeat, for the Sabbath is come. We share our meal in the dim moonlight that shines through the open doorway. We are very hungry, but make ourselves eat slowly, tearing off chunks of injera and topping them with delicious mouthfuls of doro wat. Do crocodiles have Sabbath too? Simcha suddenly asked, his cheeks round with the food he's chewing. We all laugh. No, little one, mother says. To a crocodile, each day in the river is like every other. But we have one day, just one in the week, for remembering God's goodness through play, rest, and prayer. And good food, Simcha adds. Yes, and good food, mother smiles, wiping his mouth. Before going to bed, we sing a Sabbath tune. One of those old Sabbath tunes. The familiar melody wraps around us like a soft old blanket. Inside our hut we are happy, and outside the night is still. It's at this time I feel my high mountain village must lie on the very route to heaven. The next morning my whole village makes a procession uphill to the Mekarab, our synagogue. We carry pitchers of sweet honey beer and coffee, jars of yogurt, and baskets of dabo bread. Today, our shamas have no clay stains. Today, our shamas have no soot marks. On Sabbath, our clothes are white as we can make them and without holes. With one hand, I hold the parasol over my mother's head to protect her from the hot sun, and with the other, I hold Simcha's hand so he won't pick up the dusty pebbles he loves to collect. Inside the Mekarab, it is dark and cool. Sesame oil lanterns glow like tiny suns, lighting up the cloths draped on each wall. Purple, green, red, and yellow, they ripple in the breeze from the open door and shimmer together like a rainbow. My family squeezes in among the worshipers, sitting on the ground. Fresh cut grass, sweet basil, coriander leaves, and spicy fenugreek have been spread over the earth floor. In the morning, warmth, the perfume of the herbs wraps around us all. We have made our own Garden of Eden. In his tall white turban, the high priest reads prayers in the ancient language of Ge'ez. Reuben translates them for us into our own language, Amharic. Reuben does not follow an ox today, but is the guide of us all. Yatabrak Xxviii Amlak Israel, we sing. Blessed be the owner of the world, the God King of Israel. We are blacksmiths, farmers, weavers, the high priest tells us. We are nothing but believers. We are potters and grinders, but we are all something else too. We are God's chosen. Today on the Sabbath, we especially remember this. For today we do not struggle for food. Today we are at peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Sanbat. Shalom or salam. Later, after the service, we will share our food with one another. Then Simcha will run races with other children. I will play ragball with Yosef, Yoav, and Isaac. And tomorrow, Tomorrow we will rise again before the sun and work until it is too dark to go on. The Sabbath day will have ended, yet it will remain in our minds, warming us with its fire. For the Sabbath is the flame, forging us together with the memory and the promise of a day of delight. Until the next Sabbath, we say to you, good night, for we are about to take flight, as you may be as well. Because all you little children right about now need to take your little heads and lay them on your little pillows, on your little bed. Close those your eyes and wait for that sun to rise. And as you already know, when it rises again, that new day will be just as divine and just as fine as the day that just came to an end. Because one day slips right off into another and another and another. And before we know it, we've lived a whole lifetime. And to you adults, we say to you, make sure to do your due diligence, because we need your support. It's coming up on the 1st, and we need your support in a serious burst, because we are thirsting for sustenance. And we take sustenance in your likes, if you're watching us on Facebook, your thumbs up, if you're watching us on YouTube, as well as your donations, because you can make a donation. We're not over here working out like we're on a vacation. We're over here turning what we're doing into a vocation, doing it right here at this location, but spreading it out, sending it out over the airwaves all around the world. Wherever you're at, we are there too. So the night is upon us, but so is your duty. Make sure to go ahead and do your duty, and we can say for sure that what you do will become nothing more or less than a thing of beauty. For we will take your donations and turn them into more stories, more tales of the Big Bunabash, more tales about Lalabella, more tales about Selassie, more tales about the best beekeeper of Lalibela, more tales and more tales and more tales and more tales. So help us help you by offering to support us through your likes, your thumbs up, and of course those good donations. You know how to do it. Need I say more? I think not, because right now I'm sure what I've said has already hit the spot, and it's a time for me to go before you think I'm besotted or some kind of teeter-totter. And I'm not. Although I am kind of like a potter, and I'm building something over here right now, all for you. Peace out without a doubt, with justice, of course, because anything less is not even a horse of a different color. It's just something that's disgusting. Peace with no justice has got to disgust us. So please, let's have some peace with a little justice. Peace out, y'all. And let me say good night to Lee Clifford, and looks like Juju Asion Aleconquo. No. Ele Conawo. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't get it quite right, but I'm doing the best I can, and I'll keep on doing it, because you know what? We're initiating our plan. We hope you are too. Peace out, y'all.